Hey everyone, this is my Patreon-powered reaction to the 32nd episode of Dokidoki Precure. And last episode, we had a pretty big crisis. We had actually, rather than a lot of the episodes which is focused on like a quick monster of the week, it causes maybe a few people trouble and we beat it up. This was much more wide scale, like everyone falling asleep and they were eventually gonna rise up as selfish monsters or something. And we had to put a stop to that. And we did, luckily. And also, our evil duo is now kind of like out of the picture. That was essentially their swan song. They're done now, right? We still have the other bad guy to worry about, Bell, I think his name is. But yeah, he's still a problem. But yeah, this was a pretty valuable experience for like the girls that aren't directly connected to the Trump Kingdom, since now they have a bit more of an idea of what it's like to fight for your home being in jeopardy and all that. So some good stuff came out of it for sure. And luckily, yeah, we were able to save everyone. So yeah, this episode, I'm not quite sure what we're gonna get. So let's dive on in and check it out. 3, 2, 1, play. Festival? I think this was the last kanji meant. Yeah, so definitely doing some kind of festival. Bonfire setup? Yeah, looks like a culture festival. Yeah, Buensuceso culture festival. Okay, like, literally, who are you? What's your problem? Okay, that's a problem. Uh, okay, is she sick or been pushing herself too much lately, or both? Uh, I... Well, that would have been a damper on the festival spirit. 3, 2, 1. Dokidoki, Precure, bum, 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 bum. Hello, hello. It's summertime, so I kind of need more water than usual. Because my house actually does not have proper air conditioning. It has a swamp cooler, or an evaporative cooler, what do you want to call it. But it's in the hallway, and when I record, my door shuts. Even that doesn't really help much when recording. So I often sweat during summer during videos as a result of that. In case you didn't know. And I also live in California, which can get pretty hot. Our sponsor segment. And what's our title? Okay, a sick. A wild culture festival? Well, is it Arashi, which is like storm? So more like a stormy culture festival might be a more literal translation. Yeah, I mean, of course, it goes without saying, during a culture festival, she would be all over the place, doing a lot, pushing herself too much. It really makes sense. You still can't overdo it. I don't think she's taking no as an answer. That was not a suggestion. If your wife tells you to stay in bed, you do it. Isn't that like her nickname? Yes, Shawasa no Oji, there's the book. Sparrow. I guess something she would do. Till there was nothing left. Very self-sacrificing, yeah. I don't like that reaction. Well, how does the story end? This did not look like a happy one. What even is that? I wouldn't have guessed that. Blood rings. Were those made from like the other two? Their power? Looks kind of cool. In a, you know, edgelord kind of way. Number 2. Just gonna... I mean, you're all kind of like that because you're all, you know, part of the selfishness gang. Yeah, they're not gonna be any easier to deal with after this. Well, maybe easier for him to deal with, but I meant more the Precures because they get a power up. So yeah, can't really argue with his number 2 status now. I mean, yeah, you did just kind of put it on. Well, yeah. So I was right about that much. Man, he really just kind of took power, didn't he? Oh, I thought that was Takoyaki. I think I saw there. Oh, Keihambu. Slippers for guests. That's not mana, is it? You're supposed to be in bed. You had literally one job. You know, it really doesn't surprise me that much. I can know you don't want to miss the festival, but your health is important. Shiawase no Oji. Yeah, I knew that was gonna come up. Now she's gonna be really worried about that. I thought you were gonna help me. Come back, miss. Kenshitsu. I mean, yeah, that would be where you would take her, but you wanted to rest. Yeah. The heart's made of lead, so nobody wanted it. You'd have more people watch her this time. Hopefully somebody bigger than her. Maybe they can actually stop her, you know? Man's sweating a bit. Would you like some water? Everything just falls apart around me. Where's Mana when you need her? How does the school ever function without her? That's what I want to know. Like, yeah, you're not like helpless children. Like, you can manage it somehow yourselves. Yeah, how about some self-reliance? Give it a try. Don't even know this girl. She's like lecturing them. I'm pretty sure she goes to a different school. Well, not positive, but I think so. Man, just getting scolded by Kukimiya. Yeah, that's what I thought she was elementary school, so yeah, she would be different school. So yeah, getting lectured by someone younger than you would definitely sting more. Okay. I kind of forgot she was famous for a little bit. I don't know why I just enjoy her just going around the school, just lecturing people. It's funnier than it should be. Damn. Oh, she made it back. Just to make sure she's still there. Probably. You did a great job. That's not really the point, Mana. It's just not a good way to live that for either party, really. We just gotten so much of Aguri talking this episode, it's been great. I feel a butt coming. Are you sure about that? Dokidoki. I don't have to go out the trouble to read that sign, and he just tells me what it says afterwards. What are you doing? You're gonna knock that over? A lot of people worked hard to put that together. Not to mention that was dangerous. Bum bum. Is Shiawa's an Oji like a real fairy tale? Because it kind of sounds familiar. There's more to think about it. Well, like someone knocked it down. I mean, we can rebuild it, right? I mean, I know it takes time, but it should still be doable. Especially, like, if a lot of people get together and... Like, I don't know how long it takes. Like, I have no frame of reference for that, but... yeah. You should have enough time. Hopefully. Never forget Mana's words. Everyone coming together. The softball team handling hardwood. That's not eluded than I intended it to. But yeah, we get to see everyone. You know, not relying on someone else, just doing it themselves together. Like, could you imagine they just like stand in a corner and say, "Hey, Mana, go do that for us," and then she like tries to do it all by herself? That would be ridiculous. So, good thing that's not what's happening. The lectures got through. Posters. Okay, that works. See, you can do it when you try. It's really not that funny. Yeah, is this guy gonna become a selfishness monster? You don't seem to. Yeah, that means I should be able to do whatever I want and cause trouble for other people. Don't you know how important I am? What's it gonna look like? That's the question. Giant teacup. Because that'd be kind of funny. Oh, that's interesting design. The giant teacup. You would think that'd be fairly fragile, so maybe it won't be that tough of an enemy. Yeah, we better protect that thing. We're not rebuilding that again. Who needs Precures? We'll get together and just do a brawl. Udana, yeah, fortune telling. Is that, I guess, are gonna be where we secretly transform, kind of like Superman running into phone booths. Because there's a lot of people around there. Oh, oh, V, E, beak, beak, beak. Beep, 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 beep. And that never popped up before. That's sad. Poka poka. So I guess there's just enough room in there for all 5 of them to transform at the same time. I guess so. Yeah. Right on time. Double kick, then a double punch. Surprised it didn't break. Anyway, we really don't see the Precures, like, interacting with, like, normal people this, like this very often. Because usually other people, like, know where to be found, really. Like, usually they've evacuated or something. We do outnumber you. Just like trying to punch the whole group at once. Yeah, I feel like a teacup shouldn't be this strong. But the ring probably showing its results. 5 times? Coincidentally, that's a number of Precures. Okay, now it's like the amusement park ride. Okay, probably not very fun though. You know, Mana's already sick. This is really not okay. Yeah, they have an audience for all this too, so if they just like puke, then everyone will see that. How embarrassing would that be? They didn't even have to wait in line, which is nice, I guess. I think we may have lost the fight. Like I said, imagine how Mana feels. She didn't feel good to begin with. I wasn't ready for it, sir. Oh, wow. Aye. Oh, that was really cool, actually. Just like borderline flash step into the battle. Yeah, they can learn. They do learn. Having a cheer squad actually might help a lot. Can't let all the students down. She's so cool. Mirrors? Okay, this is something. Can I just like trap him? I think it's solar flare. I really try my best not to laugh at that. It's just difficult. Really? Okay. Man, you bounce back quick. Let's go. I mean, if they say it every episode, I'm sure I'll get used to it. Just Makoto, the look on her face, it just really stands out from the others. It just looks, I don't know how to describe it. Borderline evil? I don't know. Choo, 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 choo. Lovely straight flush. How do you like that, Mr. Teacup? Send you on a ride. Now be quiet in the cafe, sir, or we'll kick you out. Always excuses for why you lost. Typical bad guy behavior. They were Precures. Have you guys ever heard of the concept about Mahou Shoujo? Because I can recommend you some anime if you want to learn about the concept. Yeah. Perhaps. Get in there. All this boy-girl touching, so indecent. Yeah, it sounds like a great idea to me. Can't be left out. Still not her school though, but... What a wonderful shot to end it off on. I couldn't imagine a better one. In fact, I made them my desktop wallpaper. Yeah, just some really good animation on this. Like in the very beginning, well, not very beginning. That one part where they're just kind of like, I don't know how to describe specific choreography, but it looks good is the point. L-O-V-E. Why don't all anime have IEDs like this? Where is the cursor? Yeah, I really should find it is before I need to click. Yeah. Anyway, that was the 32nd episode of Dokidoki Precure, and this episode there was some mana focus, some algorithm focus, both. I guess both, right? Because really got into the mana's disposition. Like her main aspect of her character, constantly wanting to help people and stuff. Obviously a big part of her character. And since we're having Culture Festival prep, naturally there's a lot of people to help at the same time. So pushing herself, gets sick, and yeah, really hard to get her to just stay in bed. But that is Mana at the end of the day. Like, nobody really should be too surprised. We had called her the Happiness Prince before, right? But this time we actually got to read the book itself that kind of nickname came from. Aguri specifically got to read it, and that definitely had an effect on her, because obviously it didn't seem like there was too happy of an ending to that book, so she obviously wouldn't want a similar thing to happen to Mana, so she kind of really went the extra mile this episode, because, you know, Mana came back to the school for the Culture Festival when she really wasn't supposed to, so we kind of had to put her into the infirmary in bed, and Aguri kind of took it upon herself to really be a hero for Mana this episode, right? Trying to keep her from pushing herself, and also trying to, like, she's lecturing all the students, trying to get them to become more self-reliant, not just selfishly rely on and take in help from Mana, just try to do things yourself, right? Like, you gotta at least try, right? You can't just cry for help from Mana the second things start to go wrong. Like, you're big boys and girls, you know, you could try to do your best, and it's kind of what Aguri was trying to get across. And it was just kind of funny because Aguri, she's like this elementary school girl that you're lecturing these middle schoolers, really, and since she's not wrong or anything, they can't really like say anything back, so that was kind of hit them pretty hard, I would say. But I enjoy hearing Kugimiri's voice a lot in this episode, because I mean that's pretty much, I think, more so than any other voice actress, her voice is the most nostalgic for me, because in my early days of anime, I watched shows like Toradora, Zero no Tsukaima, Shakuga no Shana, she was in that too, right? Like, just a lot of shows. Kugimiri was pretty popular at the time. Like, she had a lot of these sort of tsundere kind of characters, right? So just most nostalgic voice actors as a result. So I just enjoy hearing her speak at all, really. So I got enjoyment out of it on that basis. So I enjoyed all the Aguri stuff in the episode for sure. And yeah, they actually, when they put their minds to it, they actually got a lot of the problems they were complaining about solved, you know, posters and stuff like that. They got it figured out, which is good. Unfortunately, as usually is the case, we had a selfishness monster kind of pop up, because there's this one student guy in the cafe just being not all that pleasant, and they just go over there and it's the usual Japanese fashion of, hey, you're causing trouble for others, can you like not do that, please? But the guy is very much selfish. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. He's like, well, I matter more than they do, right? So I can do whatever I want. Essentially, is a gist of his argument, attitude, whatever you want to call it. So he, as a result of that, he became a monster. But nothing we couldn't handle. I did predict that he became a teacup. I mean, that was just the most obvious thing. So I did find it kind of funny how they all ran into the fortune-telling booth tent thingy, because all the students were around, and that really gave it a kind of, the whole battle, a different kind of feel, because I'm pretty sure most of the time there's like nobody else around during the battles. I mean, it's not really something I've thought about too much, but yeah, usually there's not a crowd or anything. So this was different on that basis. People were actually watching, like, hey, what the heck are these people? What are they doing? Who are they? Like, go, you can do it. Like, they realize they're on their side, of course. They can, like, cheer them on. So that was pretty cool. And Aguri really stepped up in this battle. We had a really funny scene of them kind of, like, riding a teacup. Because, I mean, it's probably an intentional joke, but, like, it's like the teacup ride at the amusement park. So they all get motion sickness, especially poor Mana. I pointed out before they did, but yeah, just you're already feeling kind of sick. You really should be in bed, but you're not. And then you get dizzy. That'd just be the worst, man. I could almost feel secondhand nausea from that. Like, just poor Mana. But that, yeah, gave Aguri a good chance to just really step up and like kind of like 1v1 that teacup for a while, which is pretty cool. I mean, she's firing on all cylinders, full motivation because of the whole Mana Happiness Prince thing. So she's doing her best. Eventually they perk back up. They break out their lovely pad stuff, their super card technique, and straight flush, I think it was. Yeah, they just like fire it, and the animation on all of that stuff looked really good too. And I saw the fancy mirror technique from Aguri. So yeah, a lot of great animation for sure. And of course, yeah, I kind of skipped over it, but the part where they all work together to rebuild the bonfire setup, that was good. They can learn. That's the important thing. Then, like, one final scene, actually, during the bonfire thing itself, we have some nice words between Aguri and Mana, and eventually they just start holding hands and walking towards there. Presumably they do the same kind of bonfire dance that they're doing, and they kind of ended off on that shot, which I thought was really good. So, yeah, just really nice little scene there. good episode overall, for sure. If they really did all transform in that tent together, like I always imagine the transformation sequence takes a lot of room. Like, I'm sure a lot of it's just exaggeration. Like, I don't know, it just looks like it takes up so much space with all the lights and stuff. But like, if they really did all of them did at the same time in the same somewhat small area, like, I almost wish we could have seen it like differently. Like, I don't know how to describe it, like in less of an abstract way, but literally had a camera in there and just like trying to show them, like, each of them like in a different corner, like the lights like overriding each other. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but just like that mental image is just really funny to me. So it just would have been funny to see that like covered that way. But I'm imagining it in my head, so that's good enough. So yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on the episode. Pretty good stuff. I quite like the episode. So until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.